We got it. We got it. All right. Well, guys, welcome. It's Tuesday night. We all know what that means. It's Tuesday night talks. Welcome. It's Tuesday night. We all know what that means. So I'm trying something new this week. I'm on my Zoom. We're live. I would love it for you to join me here in my Zoom room where you can participate along. You can ask questions. You can make fun of me. You can do whatever you want tonight. So with that being said, I am going to do my best to make this work. Aha, there we are. All right. I'm going to do my best to make this work, and hopefully this will be good for us. So there's a little bit of a delay that I'm trying to work through. So if it sounds weird, I apologize. I also don't know how this looks to you guys. So what I'm going to try and do is log into Facebook again. Here we are. Alrighty. So since I have not put the Zoom link up, I'm going to do that right now. See if they'll let me edit this. They will. Let me see here. Edit live video. How do I do this? Okay. Don't know how to do that. Gonna put the link in the comments. See if that works. Hopefully it does. And we should be good, back up and running. Maybe that'll work there, because I don't think I could put it up in here. Turn off archive trash. Hey, Big Rich, what's going on, my man? Edit live, edit audience, copy link. Copy link. Don't know how to do that. Well, I hope that works. I hope the link being in the comments works for you guys. If it doesn't, I don't know what to tell you. Let me know. Regardless, for the next hour, you know what I'm doing. I'm talking real estate. If you have nothing that you want to hear, I'm just going to babble on about what's on my mind. Well, thirsty tonight. Haven't been drinking enough agua lately. So, fortunately, between last week and this week, there really has not been a significant change in the market. The good thing is, it's not any worse. It's not any better. It is still the same. Interest rates are still hovering in that 7 to 7.25 ballpark. Inventory is still low. Buyers are still out there. And deals are still happening regardless. So the first thing I'm going to touch on is what I spoke about last week. I would like to reiterate it again really quick. And oh, Rich, here you are. Fantastic. We got somebody coming on, which is going to be fun. This is going to be great. I wonder if it's going to show up on the actual live. And let's see here now. I'm going to have to do that. No, let's see here now. I'm going to have to mute that one. We're superheroes. Yes. Big Rich, you can hear me?
Yep.
Fantastic. All right.
I did this just for you to make you know that it was working.
Okay. Well, that sounds good to me.
Yep, it works, pal. You did it. It took a while to get on, though.
Did it? Okay.
About 2 or 3 minutes it took before it connected.
I think that's because I have to let people in, and I didn't realize that you were there. Also, what I see in front of me is not the screen that the real Zoom is on, so I have to look over here in order to see who's trying to come into the room.
Yeah. All right.
Very good. Very good.
I just thought I'd let you know that you did it right.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. So for people who don't know who this gentleman is, his name is Rich Morello. He is a realtor with me in my office at Keller Williams in Point Pleasant. And Rich specializes in commercial and anything really business related and anything related to Howell, New Jersey, as he was a resident there for probably, I don't know, maybe longer than I've been alive. I don't know. How long did you live in Howell?
About 36 years.
All right, almost. So 36 years he was a Howell resident. He's not there anymore, but he is certainly an expert in the area. So if you're thinking of moving to Howell, you want to know anything more about Howell, you can find Rich on Facebook, Richard Morello, Big Rich Morello. And he will be happy to have any type of conversation with you regarding that for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Anytime.
Very good. Very, very good. So, Rich, were you at our office meeting today? Because I missed it because I was in another office. So
I did.
All right. Anything good going on with like interest rates or anything that I might have missed?
Unfortunately, nothing good with interest rates, but Greg was telling us about the new first-time homeowner program that's out there, where you can get up to $10,000 and it's forgivable money if you're a first-time homeowner, and you get this $10,000 grant, you can use it towards either a down payment or your closing fees. If you keep the house for 5 years, it goes away. It's totally forgiven. All you gotta do is keep the house for 5 years.
So it's a 5-year forgivable grant.
Yes.
That gives first-time home buyers a leg up in purchasing power by offering them, I think it's 10,000 or 15,000 based on what county you live in New Jersey. I think that's what I saw. And also one thing that people should know is that it is it's specific to your finances.
Yes, you have to make X amount of dollars. I think the combined income on a couple is 140,000, is what he was saying.
Okay, well that's not that bad because they seem to have changed that because back when I tried to go buy my house, I looked into the grant and they were like, "Yeah, you make too much money."
Yeah,
and I got beat, but that's good to know. So if you live in that house, if you go ahead and you take advantage of that grant and you live in that house for 5 or more years, that grant will be forgiven by the state, correct?
100%. Yep.
Very good. Petey Riley, jump on that link, please. Get into this Zoom. I have been wanting to get you onto this thing for a while, and I finally figured out how to do it. If you were still there, the link is in the comments. Please click on that link. I will let you into the chat. Let's get that handsome face out there so everybody can see it.
I just saw his comment pop up on the screen. So
yeah. So did I.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. We also have a beautiful listing in our office. We have an $11 million listing in our office that we went to see today in Manahawkin.
I heard about that. That's incredible.
$11.5 million home. Anybody out there that's looking for a home right on the ocean in Manahawkin, our office has a beautiful one out there for you.
That's wild. That is just wild.
Yeah, we all took a ride over there today.
Fantastic. Oh boy. Oh.
You're yawning again.
I'm always yawning. I don't know what it is. Every time I get on a Zoom or I get on a phone call with a client, I start yawning. I don't.
Every time you talk to me, maybe it's me.
It's everybody. There's definitely like probably some kind of mental thing or whatever. Or maybe my mind is just really telling me like, Dennis, just stop talking to people because you don't want to talk to anybody.
Well, let's not talk about mental. I can really get into this conversation. We're talking about your mental problems.
Well, let's keep it real estate for tonight.
Okay, we can do that. We can do that. Interest rates are the same. Everything's the same. Nothing's changed with the interest rates.
Good.
It was just a normal meeting today. Nothing exciting. That's about all. The only thing, we had a couple of guests there, but nothing real estate related.
Good. Good. All right. Well, that makes sense. So last week, I don't know if you had caught my live last week, but I was talking about I was talking about why it really is a good time to buy right now, and sell. If you're a seller who needs to buy again, this is a good time for you to sell as well. And I'm going to reiterate this because it's super important, and I got a lot of feedback on it from other agents that caught my live last week, and they were like, you hit the nail on the head, and you're so right. So more people need to hear this, and you need to hear it from the right people. And this is one thing that I was trying to hit home last week is we as people, we tend to just listen to the people who are closest to us, or the people who are closest to the circles that we hang out with. But most of the time, those people are not experts or professionals in the field that they're giving advice in. And real estate is one of those things where everybody thinks they know what's going on in real estate because they watch the media, they watch the news, they watch the media. But what everybody needs to understand is that there is always an agenda with the media, whether it's wrong, right, or indifferent. There's always an agenda. The media was created, originally it was created to bring the news. But as time went on, it became a business just like anything else, and they're only interested in one thing, which is to make money. So any piece of information you get from a media source, it's really not that reliable, in my opinion. I'm not going to say forever, but in my opinion, not too reliable, right? Heather Geisler, New York, real estate agent. How are you, honey? Hey, if you're in New York, not the city, but upper New York, contact this young lady. She is phenomenal. She's a Keller Williams agent. She will take care of you. Heather, put your information in the comments so people can get in touch with you if they want to move to New York State. I'm doing good. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, I don't know if you feel like jumping on camera, but there's a Zoom link in the comments if you want to jump on and say hello. Oh, I'm pretty amazing. Thank you. I appreciate that. You're going to get a heart for that one. That one's fantastic. That one's great. Thank you. Thank you for jumping on. So, as I was saying, if you are not getting your information about real estate from either a realtor or a lender, and I'm not talking about like a brand new realtor or like, your niece or nephew who just jumped into real estate. I'm talking about a realtor who is like doing business, or they are part of a larger group of realtors who are helping people, and they're all talking the same lingo and language. You're probably getting the wrong information. Here's the bottom line. We keep hearing there's going to be a crash. It's probably not going to be a crash. And the reason why is because this is not 2006, 2007, 2008, right? The banks got a lot smarter. They don't just lend to everyone anymore. And underwriting has gotten a lot more strict. So people that are getting loans because they are qualified for those loans. Now, being that we are headed into a recession, we will be running the risk as a country of people starting to lose jobs. That can happen. It usually does happen every time we go into any type of recession. And if that does happen, what we will probably see is short sales coming back into play and foreclosures, but not as many as you think. And they probably won't all be released as fast as you think, because we learned from the last crash, right? There's no bubble right now. People who think home values are going to go back to whatever they were prior to COVID, they are not. And people who think that home values are high right now, they are not. They are actually right in line with the trend line that we follow and economists follow. The problem was that we were behind. home values were behind the trend line a few years back. COVID was an anomaly, but what it did bring was a bit of like leveled out reality. It brought normalcy back to the market. It just happened so fast that it was hard for people to understand or even contemplate, but it happened. And, that is the reality now. Home values will not go back down to where they were because of that. And also because there are just too many people who still need to buy homes. And even with a 7% interest rate, 8% interest rate, a 9% interest rate, people are still going to buy homes. And the reason why is because they have to buy something. There is a necessity. It's not just like people are thinking like, oh, I think I'm going to buy a home. That is not that. I think 35% of the buying community right now is the millennial generation, which is huge. And there's a lot of them. So they need somewhere to go. Right? Their parents are kicking them out of the basements. It's time to move on up. So that little monologue was necessary because what I'm about to say is going to make a lot more sense. If the Fed ends up dropping interest rates next year, because it's not happening anytime soon. It's not happening in the next couple months. It will not happen January or February, probably. I would say if there's going to be any type of rate drop, personally, I would think maybe like March, April, May, around there. At the latest, June. If we don't see a rate drop by June, we're going to reevaluate where the market is going, right? Oh, Heather, you lost your voice. Well, next time. I do these every week, so you definitely can jump on whenever you see me on, because I think I'm going to continue to do these lives through Zoom so I can give people the opportunity to jump on the Zoom, ask questions, interact with me instead of posting comments. So going back to the rate drop, okay? If and when we have this rate drop, what's going to happen is all of these buyers that are right now saying, I'm going to wait till next year. I'm going to wait till the interest rate drops so it's more affordable for me. We're talking millions. We're talking in excess of about 3 million buyers that are anticipated to come back to the market. If we have 3 million buyers come back to the market, you are going to see an increase in home values again. Why? Because if there's an increase of buyers and home inventory is virtually the same, what do you think is going to happen? More competition. What does more competition bring? More competition brings more offers. What do more offers bring? Higher offers to make your offer look better. What is that? Increased market value. Right, Heather? Yeah, exactly. Exactly the same thing. And we have been saying this now for months. It is not a good idea for you to wait to buy or sell if you need to buy again next year. Do it right now. Because if you have the right realtor and the right lender, we are going to work to figure out a way to make you afford that mortgage payment right now. Because if you could find something right now and you can afford the mortgage payment right now, when those rates drop, you refinance that house. And now, not only did you buy a home at a lower price point, you will now reap the benefits of a lower interest rate when everyone else is trying to buy at a higher price point at the same interest rate. So if you buy now, weather the storm, pay the mortgage for now, build equity in the house for that next 6 months to a year or whatever. And when the rates drop, you refinance the home and you were in such a better position then than you would be if you started the buying process at that point. If you think that doesn't make sense, then you just don't have any common sense. It's as simple as that. And since this is my live, I get to say that kind of shit. But it's the truth. It is the God's honest truth. I have multiple buyers that I'm working with right now. I have had these conversations with all of them, and they all agree with what I'm saying. And they're all on board with trying to find something right now. Not to mention, we are going into the fourth quarter of the year, or as I like to call it, the winter season. And during this quarter, in this season, we see a drop-off of buyers. So we see less competition because of the holidays. People's money is going towards different things right now. So you're going to have serious sellers and serious buyers coming out in this fourth quarter. And there are deals to be had. Believe me, there are deals to be had. It would behoove anybody to at least entertain what I'm saying. It doesn't cost you anything to go get a pre-approval and start looking at homes now. There is no obligation for you to buy. There's no obligation for you to throw any money down as a down payment. It's just time and a pre-approval. And if you're worried about your credit getting hit, a pre-approval is not a hard hit on your credit. And it's good for about 90 days to 100 days, depending on the lender you go with. It's a win-win. 100% a win-win. It's a smart real estate decision as well. You can window shop all you want, and if you find something you like, jump on it. And if you don't find anything you like, okay, no problem. Then you're back to where your original plan was anyway. It's competing with everyone else in a market where home values are most likely going to increase. Could I be wrong? Yep. Am I? I don't know. I don't really know. I don't think I am. I also, though, I don't think that interest rates are going to go down like super fast. That's why I said, I'm thinking like March, April, May, maybe June is when we might see some kind of like rate decrease, or right around the election. I mean, at a minimum, we will see it right around the election because we know Sleepy Joe wants to try and get reelected. God help us if he does. But regardless, you'll see gas prices start to go down. You'll definitely see an interest rate drop, but hopefully we will see it beforehand. And I think we will. And that's that. That's my spiel on what I think you should do if you're thinking of buying or selling in the near future. Now, look, there are people that can't sell right now. Like, you have to sell next year. That's okay. Look, we're still going to make it work, but I'm not saying it's going to be easy, because if those rates do come down, we are going to see a repeat of 2021 again. It's going to happen if the rates drop. Also, don't think like rates are going to go back down into the 2s or the 3s, even the 4s. Okay. Probably won't ever see that again in our lifetime, ever, unless maybe Trump gets back in. And I'm not saying that because, I am an advocate for the Don. Look, everybody knows how close we are, right? Yes. So while he's busy making America great again, there's a chance that he might be able to work some magic. He did once before. Regardless, weigh out your options, right? Look into everything. Take advantage of anything that is available to you right now. I'm not trying to push a sale on you. I'm just trying to help you make the right decision. If you can do that, if you can, explore a new option, it's all I want for you guys. You need to know everything that's available to you, but you also need to know the right information coming from the right people. And that's why I'm always preaching about feeling out your realtors and your lenders and interviewing them and making sure that they're good for you and that they know what's going on in the market and that they are constantly talking about it and they're consistent with their information. Those are the only realtors that are going to steer you in the right direction. I don't know how many we're up to. Last time I heard, we were 70,000 less agents in the industry since the beginning of this year. 70,000 less, which is great. Sorry that you're not in the industry anymore, but great for people like me, great for people like Heather, because we're here weathering the storm. But not only are we weathering the storm, we're putting our best foot forward to help try and educate everyone else who's getting their information from people that are really not best suited to talk about it, right? I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to advise you on what ailment you have. I mean, I could go to WebMD and type in your symptoms and be like, hey, I think you have this. I'm still not 100% on it. But I can tell you what I am 100% on. Is anything I talk about on this live, because I won't talk about it unless I feel I can back it up. That's for damn sure. So I'm also recording these starting today. So from here on in, every week, these lives will be recorded. I will be trying to put them up on my YouTube page. So if anybody else wants to go sift through a whole hour of me sitting in my office talking, awesome. But the great part is that if I end up being able to upload them, you can just fast forward to the good stuff. That's my spiel on that. All right. That's my spiel on that. Let's talk about Airbnbs. Let's talk about Airbnbs. A lot of talk about Airbnbs have not been as profitable this year as they were in the past, and we're starting to see a decline in the rentals for them. So usually that is an indication that we are headed into a recession, and a recession where people aren't spending money, because technically we've been in a recession, I think, for almost a year now. But this has been a weird recession because people are still spending money and real estate is still being bought and sold. So it was a different type of recession. And look, I'm not an economist. I try not to talk about recessions and all that shit too much because I don't put my time into that. And I don't care to know too much about it. I only know what I need to know regarding real estate. And that's that. But if you're an economist and you want to come and talk on this one night, awesome. Let's do that. I would love to have a conversation with you. I would love to have that. I'm getting a couple. My mom commented on my video. I did not see it though. Maybe it's here. Maybe not. Let's see. Okay, we gotta put that there. And because it was an old video. That's why. All right. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So regarding the Airbnbs, it's a good time to buy them. I'll tell you that much. We're going to see an increase in those properties probably going up for sale because people who can't carry them are going to panic and they're going to sell. Oh, there's that yawn again. But the good thing is that if you have some money that you either need to do something with or need to hide, or you're looking to make an investment, Airbnb is always a good investment. Even in a down economy, a down market, you will still make money with the right Airbnb. You hear this all the time: location, location, location. If you find the right Airbnb in the right location and you know how to market the product, you will still make money. You may not make as much money as you would in a thriving economy, but you'll still be able to make money. So if you have any interest in that, we can have a conversation about it. All right. And everybody needs to know, I'm only licensed in New Jersey, but I have relationships with great agents around this entire country. One of them jumped on my live earlier. Her name is Heather Geisler. Her information is in the comments. She is like upper New York State area. So if you're thinking about doing anything in New York State, please get in touch with her. She's amazing. She is part of a great team, and they are all just simply wonderful. Highly recommend. Anybody that I recommend, I want you to know that I have vetted them. I have met them in person or on a Zoom. We have conversated. We have talked about how they do business, and we also talk about how I do business, because I need to know who I'm getting into bed with. And I need to know that if I refer a client out to those people, they're going to be taken care of the same way I would take care of them. Also, it allows me to stay involved in the entire transaction while you're being helped by that agent, which is another plus, because if something goes wrong, I'm there to fix it. It's a win-win. It really is. So if you're thinking about doing anything outside of New Jersey, please get in touch with me. Jared, I recommend burgers. I will second that. I'm all about the burgers. All about them. Right? It is a plus, Heather. Yeah, it really is. So in keeping up with the Airbnbs, right, and investments, I'm going to talk a little bit about something that I haven't touched on yet regarding investments. And that's where like good places to choose your investments, or how to choose your investments, and why you would want to think about these types of things, right? So the first thing for me is, I like to call it follow the nurse, follow the traveling nurse. This is a term that I created a little bit ago. And basically what you do is you look in areas where there are traveling nurses. So these would be hospitals and that have nurses, coming in and out. Traveling nurses always need a place to stay. They make a ton of money and they have to take care of their own accommodations. So they're always looking for furnished places that they can rent short term. It could be long term, but most of the time it's short term, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, whatever it is. 1 year is considered long term, but in the sense of like following the traveling nurse, you never know, but they'll know and they'll tell you. And I can tell you this: they pay and they work a lot and they take care of the places that they live in. I've never heard anything bad regarding that. So my first piece of advice is follow the traveling nurse. My second piece of advice is college towns. Look into college towns. Again, short-term to long-term rentals. People are going to college. Like, there are never people not going to college. And there are people who will prefer to live off campus than on campus. Your vetting and your background checks have to be a little bit deeper, I would say. Maybe security deposits a little bit higher in the event that they take on the college party role and you need to fix stuff. But purchasing houses in college towns are a great investment. Multifamilies, even better, because you will be cash flowing 3-4 times the amount of money, because you may have 2-3-4 times the amount of units in one property. Naturally, it'll cost you more, but the larger the cost, the bigger the reward. So there's that. And then what you should start doing is following trends. You want to follow where people are moving to, where they're moving from, where they're moving to. That usually coincides with economy and like, well, I'm at a loss. Factories, stuff like that. Okay, new factories are going up. We have Netflix coming to Fort Monmouth. I believe that's, that was a rumor, but I'm pretty sure that that deal has been completed. So if Netflix really does move into Fort Monmouth and they create a whole movie studio or multiple studios within the fort over there, people are gonna have to live. They're not living on. I don't think there's going to be housing there, and if there is, it may not be too suitable. Short-term rentals are going to become very popular in that area, so it might be a good idea to find a multiplex or multi-unit home that you would be able to rent out to people that are coming to film for Netflix. How would you know about that? You're listening to this live, so the guy who's talking to you right now would be the guy to go to. Or if you know another realtor who is savvy like that and follows those types of trends, then, go talk to that realtor. What else? There are just also specific towns where rents are just always great. Bustling towns, towns that are more self-sufficient, right? So there are towns in Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee. I guess they would be considered like flyover states. So in these states, there are specific towns that are just, apologies. There are towns that are just always cash flowing. And the way you find them is through research. And again, like I said, find out where people are leaving, find out where people are moving to and why. Usually those towns have some sort of factory or something going on where they just require rentals, or they just require people to need housing. You can't learn this stuff overnight. You have to actually get into it and start listening to things. A lot of my information comes from podcasts. I'm a big podcast guy. Excuse me. I am always trying to learn more about the investment industry. Oh my God, I think I need to go to sleep. Oh man. I'm always trying to learn more. Podcasts are great for it. Just got to pick the right ones. So I have been listening to podcasts for a good four or 5 years now. I have 4 years, and I'm always learning something new. I think I might be having one coming out soon with a buddy of mine, and it will probably be hero based. So military, police, fire, EMS, teachers, healthcare professionals. We will probably be touching on benefits for all of those demographics. So be on the lookout for that. Maybe 2024. We're going to need a little bit of time to get that thing off the ground, but that should be coming. But in the meantime, as I said, you guys gotta put the time in to learning where you want to be in the market. Like how you want to roll with this market. You want to be an investor, or you just want to go buy another house. Either way, you've got to get the right information. You've got to talk to the right people. Because if you're not talking to the right people, you're going to bury yourself, and you don't want that. There's probably going to be some really great opportunities for some people coming up if we start seeing a decline in the market. If we really start hitting this recession, like they keep talking about, people are going to lose their jobs. Most of the time it's the entrepreneurs first. Small businesses start to see the hit because people stop spending money. Big box stores, they can carry themselves. Local small businesses, they really can't. And unfortunately, we as a nation, we are not, we don't band together anymore. you know, we've become too selfish, and we don't think of saving people like we should. We don't think about, oh, I'll just shop you know, I'm gonna go give my money to this small business because they really, really deserve it. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people who do talk like that, but when the recessions come, people tend to go where the prices are cheaper. And usually small businesses don't have the cheapest prices because they cannot offer what the big box stores offer at the same price because they're not buying as much in bulk. Can't house it. This is getting rough tonight, man. I'm glad there's only one person watching this because I'm yawning way too much. Oh, now there's two people. I gotta step up my game. Anyways, so like I was saying, you got to do your research. You got to be in it to win it. Legit. The good thing is that if you know people who are real estate agents and they are consistently putting out information and content to educate the masses and the locals and your local economy, those are the ones that you want to go to. Those are the ones you want to run to. You want to ask them the questions because it's getting darker earlier again. Is that what it is? Yeah, maybe. All right, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, it could also be because I just had Chick-fil-A right before this, and once I have Chick-fil-A, I just want to melt into everything. You got me sidetracked. Okay. So, as I think I was saying, follow the realtors who are trying to provide good stuff for you. Follow the lenders who are trying to put out good information for you, right? Oh, it's not your fault. I don't do this because I'm trying to get rich. I do this because I genuinely care if people get beat. And I know that the content that I put out is accurate. And I know that I'm coming from a good place when I do it. If I wanted your business, I would ask all the time for your business, right? Now, look, I'm a realtor. It is my career, and naturally, I need to make sales in order to stay afloat. But it'll come. It always does, right? Ryan Dunford, get off of my live right now. All right, I need to stop this live for a second. So if anybody sees his name on here, Ryan Dumpert. Ryan Dumpert is one of my closest friends. He is a fraternity brother. We pledged together in, what was it, fall of 1998? I want to say fall 98, right? Anyways, we've known each other for quite some time. I had the opportunity to go see him last week. His wife is running for a Board of Education position in Sparta, New Jersey. I don't know if anyone has been following what has been happening in the local politics in the state of New Jersey, but regarding the school system, there is a lot going on, and that's about all I'm going to say about it because this is not the platform to really talk about that. But I have to say, I was super impressed with you, Ryan, and so proud of you. The event was phenomenal. You ran the whole thing. Just awesome. It's great to see you thriving and moving forward and growing. And anything I can do to help you, I'm there. But I just want you to hear it. I want you to know I'm there for you, buddy. There it is. Click on that link, guys. SpartaVoicesOfReason.com. That is the website for the group that his wife is running with. And they've got some really, really good stuff. And that's all I'm going to say about it, because if I keep going, this whole conversation is going to get political, and this is not the platform for that. Right, Don? That's right. So I haven't had anybody else jump on this Zoom with me. I got nobody to talk to. Guys, if you go into the comments, let me see if I can put it in here again. Paste. I don't know how that is going to show up, but try it here. Paste. There it is. I do motivate you, buddy. I'm always going to motivate you. Now beat people up for you too. So try and click on that link. That link that I just posted, it should bring you. It should bring you to the Zoom. If it doesn't, let me know, and I will find another link. Don't know. Not really great with this. Trying my best. I don't really know what happened. In any case, I believe the first comment that I left on this live, there is a link there as well. So if anybody wants to try and jump on, please do. Even if it's to not talk, but just sit there and have your face sitting there, that's cool. I'd appreciate it. I also have no idea how long I've been talking for. All right, we got about 10 minutes left, I guess. All right, about 10 minutes. All right. Usually there's a lot more questions, but I haven't really opened anything up to questions tonight. And I don't know who's still on or who's viewing or who is scrolling by. But if you have any type of real estate question, I'd be happy to address it or answer it or do the best that I can to get you the answer that you're looking for. Mr. Chris Sanchez. Hello, buddy. Man, I haven't seen you. I think it's been months, man. Holy cow. We got to do lunch again, dude. We got to do lunch again. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. I don't know if this whole live thing on Zoom is going to work out like I had planned, but nothing, man. Just trying to educate. Passing on the savings, as they say. Making sure that my people know what's going on and that they have options. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Another day in real estate paradise. Good old New Jersey. Oh. I don't think I'm going to stay in Jersey forever, though. Talk to me about investment property. What kind of investment property, Ryan? Just property, not homes. Well, are you talking about land, investing in land? Because there is such a thing as buying land to take advantage of certain tax benefits. Like, for example, down in the Barnegat area, Ocean Acres, there are plots of land that are not buildable. But the town will allow you to purchase this land. And this land is owned by individual people, but they can't do anything with it. And it's governed by the town. And there are specific rules that go with these pieces of property. So, okay. Oh, okay. We did talk about that, Ryan. All right. You know what? I need to look into that because what I'm talking about right now, you might be able to do something like that. I don't know in New Jersey, but maybe in other states, because New Jersey sucks for a lot of like real estate stuff. They don't allow a lot of things that other states do. But basically, what I was talking about regarding land in general is you could purchase land that is not buildable land. And there are like conservation laws that are attached to the land. And you'll be able to use that land for like a tax credit, or if you have another piece of land in that area or that town, if that other piece of land is, let's say, non-conforming or too small to build on, the town will allow you to buy another piece of land that is not buildable and utilize the square footage of that land to add on to the non-conforming buildable lot, which would in turn now make it conforming. and then you can build on it. But you have that other piece of land, and you're still paying taxes on that piece of land as well, which is not a lot of money, but there are ways around it. And I know this sounds like super confusing, and I'm not giving you all the information, and that's because I don't have all the information, because I'm just talking about it vaguely, letting you guys know that there are options to do things like that. But for what Ryan was talking about, Ryan wants to buy a piece of land and set up either like a campsite or a glamping site, or something like that, where he can take a lot, preferably something close to water, and not necessarily build a house on it, but maybe more so build like a pseudo homestead that people can rent. So like an Airbnb and glamping, but also have like additional things on the property. I think that's what you're talking about, Ryan, right? Small email houses that get delivered, email houses. Oh, okay. Right. So Heather, does it really suck? Oh, Heather, I wish you had a voice right now, because you would definitely be able to weigh in on this, because I am not versed in what Ryan is trying to do, but that would be awesome to hear about it from someone who has experienced it. I can say this, like tiny homes and stuff like that is really not popular in New Jersey. I don't even know if it's legal. And that's based on like construction codes, because New Jersey is a tough state to build in. Yeah, I do this every week. I pretty much talk about the same stuff every week, and then like I sprinkle in a little bit of new stuff. But the more people that start coming on, if you give me a topic to talk about, it helps a lot, because then I don't have to keep thinking of things to talk about. But that would be really cool if we could have like one whole night talking about creating vacation spots out of these pieces of land. That would be great. Absolutely. Yeah. Tiny homes. Let's get back to the whole tiny home thing. I would love to do like a tiny home community for homeless veterans. I had this vision of creating an entire community that is its own association. There is like it's managed by a small association, and it is it's like a stepping stone for homeless veterans. So there would be rules to get into one of these homes, right? So the first rule would be like, you can only live here for like 2 years. And within those 2 years, you have to get a job, and we would help you get a job, because there's so many organizations around that will help place you in jobs, right? So essentially, this whole tiny home community would end up becoming like a nonprofit, and then work with other local organizations to place these veterans to get them jobs, right? So you get into the house, right? And then you have to get a job, because you actually have to pay for the house, right? Like we'll tell you there is a house here available for you, but it costs like X amount of dollars. And in order for you to be here, if you don't want to be homeless anymore, you can live here, but your ass needs to go to work, right? So now we're stimulating the economy because we're building the homes, then we're placing people in them. So we're getting people off the streets, re-stimulating the economy by creating hopefully more jobs, or putting more people into the job market. Yeah, I mean, their job could be to build the next house for the next vet if they knew how to do that. But maybe there could be training programs or whatever, or we could hook up with like the local what is it? The trade school. Oh God, I'm such a loss for words lately. It's so bad. You guys know what I'm talking about, though. In any case, so I have this vision of like creating all of this, but New Jersey, I don't think New Jersey will let it fly, because these tiny homes they're structurally not sound enough to withstand some of the storms that the building codes are created for. And it's unfortunate because this is something that can be scaled and replicated in every single state, and it would work. And it's so easy. Like, it's so easy to do. You just need land. Literally, like, you just need land. Yeah. So, but yeah, there's so many resources here. And as I get deeper into the real estate and like helping the military and our heroes and everything, I'm making new connections on a weekly basis of organizations that are here to help the homeless, or here to help veterans, or here to place people into new jobs. Or I mean, it's great. Like, we have all these organizations, but the one thing that we are missing is shelter. And I don't even know like where we could go to even start fighting for it, because I mean, eventually I'm sure it would end up becoming some type of political thing, right? Like, we would have to get backing from some type of organization or political party to be like, you know what, that's a great idea, let's make New Jersey great again. And let's do this for our veterans. But there's just so much red tape. What about in PA? PA definitely has different rules than New Jersey. They are a lot more lenient. Like, I know for a fact you can go buy a piece of land in Pennsylvania, and if it's big enough, if the land is big enough or deep enough, and you like build a berm big enough, you could just fucking shoot on your property, and like it's totally legal. But you can't do that shit here in New Jersey unless you live in like East Bumble, you know what, and there's nobody around you, and you own like X amount of acres, and you could just do, you do whatever you want, because no one's going to those parts of New Jersey. But in any case, man, I would love to do something like that. And if anybody has any type of idea as to who we could go talk to try and get that started, because like I said, like, all the organizations, they're here already. Job placement organizations, they're here. The VA is in every state, obviously. Like, it would be very easy to just connect everyone. And I'm not even afraid about the building, because that's my background. It's easy. We need land, and we need the approval, and then we could literally put everything together. What do I know about buying out someone's mortgage as opposed to buying their house? So that would be called assuming a mortgage. If any of my lenders are still on here, I would love for you to tackle this, because that is not something I address, Ryan. And the reason why is because I am not licensed to talk about money like that. I know what it is. I can tell you that it can be done in certain instances, not all instances, but 100% talk to a lender about that. And if Heather's on here, I'm sure she would agree. Sanchez, you can't assume mortgage unless you're a veteran. Oh, really? I thought you could assume FHA mortgages. I know you can't assume a conventional. Okay. There's like a lot of red tape, Chris, right, to assume an FHA mortgage. And I know VA mortgages are assumable. Okay. All right. Well, Ryan, there's your answer. In El Comentos. Indie comments. So, Chris, let me ask you this. If somebody wants to assume a VA loan, are there specific qualifications that person has to be? Like, can they just be anyone, or does it have to be like obviously another veteran, or family member of a veteran, or can anyone assume that VA loan? And I have a follow-up question to that as well when you're ready. So my follow-up question would be, yeah, that's what I was good. Can anyone assume that VA loan, or do you have to be a veteran or like a spouse of a veteran or related to that veteran? I feel like we should have like Jeopardy music playing or something while we're waiting for the answers to be typed. So you have to be a veteran in order to assume that loan. Okay. Now, what happens to the veteran that is selling that home? Does there have to be like a release on that loan for that veteran so they could go get another VA loan? Yeah, the music. I gotta start finding some music to play. By the way, this is like the longest live I've done in a while. We're beyond the hour and we're still going strong. I think also this is the first live ever where I have never dropped to 0 followers, which is pretty cool. It's a unique scenario if it happens, but he thinks that the person would be relieved of that loan if they wanted to purchase another house. They just have to have the VA benefit to do so. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. These live streams are fun. They're Ryan, they're actually getting better every week, I have to say. Last week was great. I had a lot of interaction. This week was great. A lot of interaction from you guys. And like I said, I've been watching my numbers. I don't have high numbers of like active viewers, but it never dropped to 0 this week. And that is a first since I started. And I think I've been doing this for about 3 months. So kudos to you guys. All right, with that being said, it's 9 o'clock. I still got work to do for my clients, so I'm going to jump back into it. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight and stopping in. It was great talking to all of you. And it was nice because we've never had any of these conversations with you. I've never had these conversations with any of you guys on this live, so appreciate it. Appreciate the input. Heather, I hope you get your voice back. Let's hook up soon and catch up. Ryan, thank you. I love you too, buddy. I'll talk to you soon. And Chris Sanchez, if you're still there, thank you, sir. I owe you lunch, so let's make that happen. And anybody else who's on here, thanks again. If you need any information regarding real estate, please get in touch with me. I am happy to answer questions. You can call me, you can text me, you can message me, you can send me a smoke signal. I will answer all of them. Thanks again. Appreciate all of you. See you next week, 8 o'clock, Tuesday night. Until then, take care.